Okay, lately we've noticed, and thank you for watching our videos and commenting on them, we have a fan named Sly Cooper, so this kind of goes out to you, buddy.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Wes.
And Mark.
And this is Trash Talk. And
So-
now, for one of our fans, we did it already. We're doing a fairly obvious game. Again,
Read the title.
yeah.
Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Yeah, here it is right here. It is an awesome game for the PS2. So I want to go ahead and tell a bit about it.
Yeah, this game was released September 23rd, 2002 by Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch Productions, who developed it. And you might know that name because they're the ones that also have done the Infamous series.
Yeah.
Which is another good series.
It is really good.
Yeah.
So, let's just jump right into it. We're going to go into the controls for the game. So, the controls now, I do have a little bit of nitpicks for it, but nothing bad. The game overall, I'm going to say now because obviously I've played, more than him. But,
yes.
The game is fun, and I really enjoy it. There are some nitpicks, and we're going to go over them here, but overall, this game is really good. So I'm just going to throw that out there before people start going, oh my god, he's going to hate on Sly Cooper. No, I'm not. I'm just going to throw out my little nitpicks. And they're my personal nitpicks. So if you think, you disagree, that's your thing. But the controls for what they are for this first game, because they're in a trilogy, but there is a fourth called Thieves in Time, and I've never played that one. But, that's its own thing, so yeah. But for the first game, the controls are really simple to get a hold of, get a hang of, and I don't know, okay, there's so much to talk about for this one subject alone that I'm trying to figure out what to start with. Well, you've got obviously your jump, double jump, actions. You got your attack with square.
Yeah.
Circle you use as Sly to climb onto ropes and do some cool little stealthy climbing on ropes, either horizontally or climb vertical, like pipes, little thin pipes and stuff.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And you can usually tell, sometimes they'll let you know, sometimes they kind of won't. I think primarily they do. They let you know what is climbable by showing a little sparkling blue, what they call blue aura. And it's really funny because what I like about this game is that not a lot of the games really tend to do. They kind of just glance over it, but what they have fun with this, and I just love it. The fact that with little things like that in game, the characters in universe have an actual reason or purpose for why Sly can see the little blue aura and everything. Obviously, to let us know what it is, but they have fun with it in universe, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And really funny. So you've got climbable surfaces. You've got other abilities that you can unlock by collecting little messages in bottles all throughout every level. There's about sometimes 20, sometimes 30. Yes. They vary, but there's quite a bunch of them in each level, so you got to collect them and find a vault where you can unlock a piece of what's called the Thievius Raccoonus, which we'll get into a bit later, so we're going to wait off on that. But with finding a page of that book, which we're going to explain later, comes a new ability, and there's at least, I think about 5 abilities, I want to say. I'll probably correct myself right now. But, yeah, so that's really neat. Now, the thing with that also is, while the abilities are cool and some of them are a little wacky, they're not exactly necessary. You can there's no segments once you unlock that ability. There's no segment afterwards that really put focus into using that ability to solve a puzzle or get across something.
Yes, but they do don't they make things a little bit easier?
Yeah, they kind of do, but then again, I've never really had to, on my first playthrough, on all my playthroughs, I've never had to use those extensively. Attacking with his staff is more than enough that you need. It's more of you can do this attack, like a secondary attack, but it's not exactly needed, which is a little bit of a downer because I kind of do wish they did have those kinds of, not make them super obvious like, oh, you just got this ability, you need to use it here, but something along a little bit more subtle, but something along those lines where maybe they did need to be vital. So that was a little bit of a downer, but it's not a big deal. That's kind of it for controls, I guess. That's really,
Oh, well, didn't you want to also cover, like, the nitpicks of that?
Well, yeah, one of those nitpicks was how, those abilities aren't too...
Yeah,
needed, really.
Wasn't another, nitpick was, with, like, the jump controls?
Oh, yeah, that was a little bit of a nitpick. Thanks for reminding me. I was telling him a lot of stuff earlier, prior to filming. But, one of my other little tiny nitpicks, which thankfully they did fix in the sequel, is, Sly's double jump. When you actually perform the double jump, for this game, for Sly's double jump, it's more of a distance thing than a height thing. So you don't, like, jump and then jump. You kind of jump and then go a little bit further. And while that's obviously a kind of a good thing, I am more used in certain games that have characters double jumping like this in platformers, to that character gaining some extra height out of their double jump. And Sly doesn't exactly do this in the first game, but like I said just right now, they fixed it in the second game, so that's a good thing.
Alright.
So, looks and aesthetics, God, you can
it looks for for the year it came out, it looks pretty good.
It does.
Again, this is for the year 2002, the textures look really nice.
It's all cel shaded, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's all cel shaded, and,
all the games in the series are like that, and it's awesome.
Which is something I really appreciate in a lot of games that do it, like Borderlands.
Or Wind Waker.
Or Wind Waker, Wind Waker, and then Borderlands, I do know. That one's shaded, and I do like the style. It gives everything kind of a more, like, cartoonish look to it.
Yeah.
It looks pretty nice. Not really a lot of problems because it is an older game, so... the graphics are kind of outdated at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Yeah, they are a little outdated, but they do get better.
Outdated.
They do get better within the series.
Yeah, so that's an important thing. But for the time being, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
For its time.
For its time, yeah. To go along with that also, I guess we can talk about the tone of how the games, like, are, which is a kind of Pink Panther-esque, kind of reverse James Bond-esque kind of... not really a spy or a thief, but it's the same kind of thing, in a sense. But there's lots of, like, Pink Panther-ish kind of, suave, lots of jazzy kind of sounding, like, music and such, and we'll go over that in a little bit. But, the tone is, like, it's a little bit, it's got some laughs in there, but it mainly comes from dialogue and, like, their, like, verbal humor. Not exactly what they do that makes it funny. But, yeah, like, the humor comes from, like, the dialogue, not so much how the characters are, like, they're not all wacky and silly. Maybe, with their animations, the way, again, for their time, the way they made the animations a little bit kind of over-dramatic, like, Sly gets a key to unlock a door, he draws it back and then tosses it, so it looks a little funky, maybe a little bit like, but, besides that, it's a little more downplayed with the humor, I guess. It's silly, but it takes itself a bit more serious. Not too, like, super dramatic, dark and brooding serious. But, it's got some, like, seriousness to it. It's kind of got a lot of that, there's certain segments that have lots of those, like, old gangster movie thug-looking. There's this one segment where one boss, I don't think you saw him yet, one boss and none of his cronies actually have that gangsterish tone to them, like the old-time gangster movies. So, yeah, that's the kind of tone. If you know what I'm trying to say here, that's what the tone of the game is pretty much overall. So, and it's fun. I enjoyed it. I've never played a game like that before until Sly, and it's fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So to the soundtrack.
The soundtrack. I've listened to like some of the soundtrack already. It sounds really nice.
It matches the mood of that darker.
Like the dark, like
suave,
sneaky, and suave. kind of like James Bond a little bit. Not with like so much the dark part, but like with the suave.
Yeah, like real like bassy, real like
Yeah.
It's like real, yeah. It's jazzy, you know, the underplayed jazzy.
Yeah.
There is actually a casino level in that game, which is really cool. There's this big ass
yeah.
casino you go to. There and in the second game, so it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the music a lot.
Yeah,
There's a couple
I especially liked one track from it. I think it was called like Kung Fu Master or something.
Okay.
We'll probably have like the title up here because it had something to do with like Kung Fu.
Okay, I know what that's from. Yeah.
Man, that one sounds really cool.
Yeah, not the entire soundtrack, and also again the mood of the game in general isn't all, you know, like I was saying earlier, dark and like downplayed, and there are parts that get real bright and, you know, upbeat, and it's fun. The way they did it and just meshed all together it's cool.
It's a pretty good soundtrack overall.
Yeah. So character portrayals. There is one more nitpick I wanted to go over, but I'll do it a little bit later. Okay. I forgot to do it in the. So I was actually a control, but I should have mentioned it in the controls little segment.
Okay.
But to character portrayals, for this first game, you know, they've got to establish the characters. So you've got obviously Sly Cooper. He's that Pink Panther, sarcastic. No.
It was really clever of them to make it like he's a thief, so they made him a raccoon.
A raccoon.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's sarcastic, but he's not like a dick kind of sarcastic. He's
just like a jerk. He's just kind of like sarcastic, like, oh yeah, I kind of already know this.
Yeah, he's like, I can do this. This is easy for me, you know. He's that kind of sarcastic. I guess like well, not stubborn, sarcastic. You got Bentley, the obvious nerd, smart guy, brainiac of the group. He's a turtle. He is really funny. He's got big ass glasses, you know. He's got
his voice is a little bit
that nerdy kind of voice. Like I don't know an impression of him. You can try if you want.
I don't want to. Like truth be told, I kind of found his voice a little grating.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess that was like the point of the character.
Yeah, he's got that. Who can I compare his voice to? He's just a nerdy character, so that kind of nerd stereotype, I guess.
And then we also got Murray.
Murray the hippo, who's the...
He was a hippo?
He's a hippo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's the... Whereas Bentley's the brains, Murray's the brawn, and he's kind of like that goofy, like, well, here we go, and you know, kind of...
Which is why they would make him the driver. Okay, Murray, all we want you to do is just drive.
Yeah.
When we give you the signal...
Drive away.
You drive.
He's one of those characters, so...
And make sure I'm in the car when I'm in there. Not like the last time.
Make sure I'm in the car when you're getting away.
I'm sorry about the last time. It's okay. It's not your fault, Murray.
Okay, so... How they portray them is, you know, it's alright, it's fine, yeah, Bentley can get a little... Bentley's the one who talks to you the most.
Yeah, because, like, he helps you with, like,
the tutorials and stuff.
Yeah, with the tutorials and like showing you everything. It's like, oh wait, there's like this one thing that you have to look at.
And that's totally not what it sounds like. But you might as well after like 20 minutes of hearing him talk.
Shut up, Bentley.
Oh my god.
Hurry up and invent texting already.
So then there's also Inspector Carmelita Fox, who's an inspector.
She's a very foxy.
I was gonna say a detective, a cop, but she's an inspector. So it's kind of all of those.
And then she is one foxy lady.
She's after Sly, and then they've got this is a little bit more. I guess it's kind of a cliche. She, you know, is the obvious like, oh, okay, so they kind of have a thing, but they're on opposite sides of, you know, justice,
of like the law.
Of the law. So, you know, and of course, you know, they mess with each other, and Sly messes with her more than she's all like. She's kind of grumpy, kind of like, let's just get this done, and you know, whatever. But also she's, I think, Mexican. Carmelita Montoya Fox. So, which is funny because she has an American accent in the sequel. But voice actors change. But she's alright for what she is. You do have one segment, I'll say right now. I don't want to give out too much.
Wait, ain't Carmelita French though? Because weren't they in France in like the beginning?
Well, yeah, but she's not French.
Oh.
She's, I think, like a Spanish. Not really Mexican, but.
Well,
isn't Montoya a freaking Spanish name?
I think so. Help us out with this.
please, Sly Cooper, help us out in the comments below. Is Montoya a French name or a Spanish? I believe it's a Spanish name because
it might be Spanish. It might be Spanish.
Anyway, before we get off topic again.
We'll probably put it right here.
Yeah. I don't want to give out too much in case you might want to play this, whoever may not have seen this game before. But there is one segment you do get to play as Carmelita. Not in the platforming sense, but there's just a brief moment where you help out Sly as Carmelita, which is pretty cool because there's a point where the main villain captured Carmelita, so you save her, but then you guys get into... There's this whole thing within the plot that happens where they have to briefly work together. So there's that. I guess you haven't seen him yet, but I'll also talk about the main villain, whose name is Clockwork. He's this giant-ass robotic owl, and he is one of the most badass villains I've ever seen. He's got this really deep, throaty, robotic-sounding voice. He's really... You don't see him through the entire game, except for a couple shadowy figures of him in the cutscenes. But you don't actually get to see him anywhere in-game besides the cutscenes until that final boss battle. Yeah. Which is... That is quite build-up. If the other freaking villains start... Because there's other villains under... What was their name?
Wasn't it like the...
Fatal Five.
The Fatal Five, yeah.
Okay.
Or the Filthy Five.
The what?
Wasn't it like the Filthy or the Fatal Five?
No, it's the Fatal Five.
Okay, yeah.
So the Fatal Five are the main other bosses in the game.
Yeah.
And I won't go over like all of them. There's really just I kind of just wanted to cover the main boss, the main villain, Clockwork. He's really cool. God, his boss battle it's a 3-parter, so I'm letting you know that now. It's crazy. It's not too hard once you get into the swing of it, but it's pretty cool. And how they're portrayed, like we were just saying, that's the main thing of what we wanted to say, was for the first game in this series, it's just establishing the characters, so how they're portrayed is just kind of how they're portrayed, and you see how, again, there's a couple stereotypes with Bentley and Murray, but overall they're awesome. They're not, you don't really hate anyone, you know, if you hate anyone, it's really the bosses for maybe some of the battles, but only because of maybe how frustrating it could get. But no one boss battle is all that difficult once you really start to... Once you find out what to do, then... Yeah. There's really no hateable characters. Again, Bentley might get on your nerves a little bit with how he talks and how much he talks, but besides that, they're all really cool, and I enjoy all the full cast. So I guess, before I get into the story, I wanted to say my one quick nitpick that I forgot to mention in the control segment of the episode. The health system is a little bit weird, and again, they did fix this in the sequel, so I'm grateful for that. They actually give you a health bar in the sequel, but you don't have a health bar in this game. In this game...
You have lives, pretty much.
Well, yeah, you have lives, but I mean, like, you don't have a health system. Like, if you get hit once, you're dead. But they do have this little horseshoe Lucky Charm... I don't know what I was trying to do there. A little horseshoe that, yeah. I was trying to do whatever the hell this is. But, they give you a horseshoe. It's a silver horseshoe, and I guess I can kind of relate it to Aku Aku, the mask from Crash Bandicoot. It gives you 1 hit point. If you collect another one, it turns gold, and you get 2 hit points. That's all great and grand, but they're not all that common. Just finding little Lucky Charm horseshoes randomly. Yeah, it's kind of random.
Well, most of the time you'll find one, or you have to collect 100 coins. Collect 100.
Yeah, like I didn't understand that, because if you collect 100 from Mario, from Crash, if you collect 100 of something, you get a life.
Extra life, yeah.
In this game, you get a hit point. So what I was thinking was seemingly randomly getting a Lucky Charm. I now found out it's from collecting 100 coins. So there's that.
Yeah.
Apart from that, so story, I guess.
Story, the story is, not too difficult to understand.
Really.
Pretty much,
There's a
after Sly Cooper, he gets to, like, his file from Carmelita, they go into backstory that, he was, that his family has been in the thieving business for generations.
Yeah.
And, and the secret to their thieving is from a book that was started from one of their ancestors called the Thievius Raccoonus.
Yeah.
In which tells them, which pretty much tells...
It's like all the notes, all the stuff about the ancestors, his ancestors, everything they know about
to help them to how the current generation become master thieves.
Yeah.
But then the Fatal Five show up,
and
pretty much these guys were more vigilantes because they wouldn't steal from ordinary people. They would steal from the
higher class. Yeah.
Yeah. From criminals of all sorts, and then again the Fatal Five, they come in and they steal the book and they split it into 5 pieces, and so Sly Cooper's goal is to find them and get the book back.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple plot to follow. They start getting a little bit in the sequels they build upon them. They don't get too convoluted, but they do build upon the plot for every game. But for this one, it's simple. Again, it's an establishing thing to the universe and everything. So it's a really good. And the plot is really good. So
yeah.
What else? I feel like there was something I wanted to say about it. A cool little thing that they did with the manual for the game. You see right there, is it's in like the form of the Thievius Raccoonus. So I'll show it to you guys right here. It's pretty neat. The back also looks like the back cover, so that's really cool. This is the game manual. So what's a cool other little thing that they did is with the second game and the third game's manuals, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing, but with each one, it gets a little bit more damaged.
Yeah.
So you see like scuff marks and like scratches and tears.
Yeah.
And by the third game, it's like almost destroyed. So it's a little side thing, but that attention to detail is pretty neat, and it shows how long time has passed from the games and everything. But just this game establishes everything. It shows us, it introduces us to the universe of Sly Cooper, and it's a pretty damn good one. So I recommend that you get this game. So final verdicts.
Yeah, sorry for all the noise.
Oh, there's noise in the back, but don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, final verdicts.
My final verdict from what I've seen from the game, I would give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Because you haven't experienced it.
Yeah, from what it looks like, it doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty enjoyable.
Unfortunately, his PS3 is one of those ones like mine that doesn't play PS2 games. So we couldn't play it. We had to I show him some stuff of it. But I actually have to also say, for as much as I like this game, with its nitpicks that do, at least for me personally, kind of not exactly get in the way, but it's something. It's things I would have improved. It's things I would have improved, which thank God they did in the sequel. I also have to give it a 4.5 out of 5 because it's not perfect.
4.5 out of 5.
Oh yeah, well.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I forgot. Yeah, okay, 4 out of 5, 4.5. So that's kind of it, I guess. I feel like I wanted to say some more things about it, but I totally forgot. So I guess that's kind of it. So I'm Mark.
And I'm Wes.
And this was another episode of Trash Talk. Sly Cooper. Hope you enjoyed this. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yay!